What's going on, everybody? I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Legacy Cybertron Universe Hotshot. I picked this figure up over at the Hasbro Pulse. Of all the figures that we were expecting or have been expecting, this is probably the one that I have been looking forward to the least. Hotshot was never my favorite character in Transformers Cybertron or Galaxy Force, where he was called Hatto Shato. Okay, that's not really what he was called. I'm just speaking the way they spoke in the show. Even though I liked the character, the toy was very much left to be desired. Wait, that didn't make any sense. I didn't like the original toy. It was a very boring, very simple transformation, and it wasn't really all that much fun, to be honest. Hasbro and Takara nailed the likeness of that original figure and toy to a T. There is nothing here in terms of looks that I can complain about at all. It looks stunning, and it feels premium, which I can't say for all the Legacy figures. This head sculpt alone is just amazing. I just can't get over how good this head sculpt is. The paint is perfect. The eyes are painted perfectly. I mean, it's perfect. Even the paint on the chest and the just molding here on the chest is perfect. They even got the insignia correct on the shoulder. Yes, it's a lot smaller than it was on the original toy, but I don't care. Like, everything paint-wise about this figure is perfect. I have no complaints. The figure's overall shape and molding is exactly the same. The proportions are the same. I'm shocked. I am genuinely shocked that they got as close to that original figure as they did here. This figure even has a Cyber Planet key. It's just red. I would have liked a little bit more paint. And it can plug into the backpack like that original figure. No spring-loaded gimmick here, but you can flip out the wings, which are just on these little pieces of plastic. Now, they did fall a little short here. The color on that, they also fall out pretty darn easily. The color of these wings isn't quite right. The original wings are supposed to be like the same clear plastic as the windshield and the windows, but here they're red. You know what? The less clear plastic on figures these days, the happier I am. Though the one weird oddity I'm having is that's why. Every time I push it the one side up, it goes way too high up. And this is one issue I have with the figure. This is actually my biggest issue with the figure. The backpack, even when it's clipped into place, does not like to stay clipped into place. I mean, even when it's clipped in there, it doesn't like to stay put. The gun that the figure comes with is almost the exact same shade of orangish yellow that original figure came with. It's same molded. It's not, unfortunately, spring-loaded, but they painted the barrel. Thank you, Hasbro. Thank you for painting the barrel. That's really nice. I like that quite a bit. And there's a little nubbin on the tip for blast effects action. Blast effects compatibility is what I meant to say. And speaking of compatibility, there are some 5mm ports on this figure. Obviously the fists, one on each shoulder pylon, one in the middle of the back, one on each, well, essentially the elbow, and then one on each bottom of the heel, and then one on each bottom of each foot. Wait, that was bad English. I'm sorry. Poseability for our hot boy is pretty darn good considering how bulky he is. Head is on a ball joint, looks up and down, swivels side to side. Shoulders can swivel, and if you just move the arm out of the way a little bit, you do hit the backpack a bit, but it's not that big a deal. Then there is a butterfly for the transformation, and then there is this hinge joint on the side for the shoulder. Swivel just above swivel at the bicep. Bend at the elbow is over 90 degrees. Fists do swivel. I'm not going to bother doing it though, but you can see the swivel is there. And then something that I think is a nice touch, the arm armor, or the forearm armor, does swivel a little bit so that you can move the forearm armor out of the way so you can have him wield a gun easier. That's a nice touch. Torso swivel is present, though it's very tight on my figure. Legs can kick forward all the way. Well, the legs can kick forward more than 90 degrees. They can't kick back all the way because they do hit the windscreen. I wish that folded up a little bit better. The legs can kick all the way out at 90 degrees. There is a thigh swivel. Bend at the knee is 90 degrees. And then there is some foot articulation, though my copy is a little weird. So these feet are supposed to flip out and then they peg into place. And then the ankles move, but the toes don't like staying pegged in to that little peg right there at the back or the middle of the foot. So the toes do have a tendency to pop forward a little bit, though I'm sure a little bit of sanding in there will take care of that, though that is a really, really tiny little area. Overall, though, holds together well and looks damn good. Unfortunately, there is no butt plug for a flight stand or figure stand, which I think is a miss, but it's not that big a deal. Even with the slight limitations in the posability, he can pull off some really nice poses. This figure also feels great in the hand, which I was not expecting. In terms of size, it's actually one of the bigger deluxes that we've gotten in a while. The height didn't even register until I started comparing it to other deluxe class figures. Comparatively, he's very big and almost Voyager size. Transforming our hothead is actually a little bit more complex than the original figure, which, again, pleasant surprise. To start off with, come back to the backpack and unpeg it from the back of the figure, and then flip this little panel up, and then turn the entire backpack around 180 degrees. Take the head and flip that up into the body, then bring the shoulders up and snap them into place. Then come down to the feet and fold the ankles all the way out, flip up the toes, and then fold them back into place. And just do that on the other side. Now, on the original figure, you just folded those toes up and smushed the legs up into the body. Well, no. Open up the shins and then hinge the legs down and then close the shins up. I really like this. This gives the figure a lot more versatility, I guess. Then come down to the arms and fold those arms in and peg them into the feet. And yes, this is the exact same part. This is the exact same as that original figure. And then hinge this whole section back and get everything lined up and snapped into place. Whoop, I had that out in the wrong spot. So what you want to do is get that all the way back. There we go. That's what I'm doing wrong. Get these snapped into place and bring the canopy down, and that's it. I gotta give Hasbro credit. This figure feels really good. Even though you've got this big chunks of clear plastic up there for the canopy, the figure looks really good. I think it is smaller than that original figure, but that's to be expected. Cyberplanet key gimmick works here. You plug that in, and then you have to manually get your fingernails in there and flip out the wings. And let's face it, Hotshot was never the best Cyberplanet gimmicked figure of them all. That was pretty lame, actually. Weapon can be mounted on the roof, just like the original figure, and then there are 2 spots on either side for extra weapons. In terms of size, it's a decent-sized deluxe Transformer. Here is Chase next to it, and you can see that Chase is actually a lot smaller than Hotshot. So that's very interesting. Here is later class Rodimus Prime, so it is actually just a smidge smaller. There's a lot less bulk on Hotshot, obviously, but it's roughly the same scale. So here is Starscream from Cybertron, and you can see they're not that much different in size. Yes, Starscream has a lot more bulk. It's because it's a different size class, but they're not that far off. I'm shocked that I like this figure so much. I was ready to not like it because, as I said, I did not care for that original Hotshot. I thought it was just a kind of a dull figure. It wasn't that much fun. This Hotshot, on the other hand, I'm smitten. I am totally smitten with it. It's a great toy and a great figure. I don't know what else to say other than it's really good. And it does the character justice, and it somehow is better than the original figure. Yes, it lacks the Cyber Planet key gimmick. Geez, say that 10 times fast. But I don't care. The gimmick was detrimental to the figure, or that original figure. This one, without it, with all the posability and the near exact molding and paint schemes, it's a great figure. I just didn't get those toes plugged in correctly. Whoopsie. I actually can't believe I'm saying this, but if you can, pick this figure up. It's simple, but stylized and just fun. I'm dumbfounded. I really am. I was not expecting to like Hot Shot of all toys in 2024, especially not after Armada Hot Shot. That figure sucked. This one, total redemption, worth every penny. So folks, let me know what you think of Hot Shot down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I have been Baltmatrix, wishing you a wonderful day, and I will catch you all next time.